So I was thinking about, what does the strong person do when they get tired? What does the person that is always in a place of strength, always in a place of leadership, what do they do when they get tired? And I want to direct this to specific types of people. If you're that person that you are the lead in everything, right? You're the go-to person maybe in your family. You're the go-to person at your job. You're the go-to person at your business. People call on you, right? They call on you when they need money. They call on you when they need advice. They call on you for pretty much everything because your outer countenance, the way you present yourself, the way you handle yourself, it says that I have it all together, right? So people lean on you. But the question is, what do you do when you get tired? What do you do when you need someone to lean on? Because what I've experienced over the years in my own life, what I've seen in the lives of other people is that the go-to person oftentimes doesn't have anybody to go to. And I think it's so important that we understand that the strong person needs a strong person, right? The strong person needs someone to lean on, because what ends up happening is we get so good at helping and giving and taking care of everybody else that we forget to take care of ourselves. And eventually, no matter how strong you are, you can pour out so much that you end up empty, especially if you're not replenishing on a consistent basis, especially if you're not either having strong people pour back into you, or you have some type of system set up to be poured back into. You see, a lot of times we have a cup, right? And instead of us continuing to fill ourselves to the point that our cup runneth over, meaning that if you're filling yourself constantly and your cup is running over, you have excess running outside of the cup. Whatever is in excess, you can share it freely without you being detrimentally affected by running empty. Why? Because you're sharing out of the excess. But most strong people, most leaders, most givers, most people, we don't do it like that. We operate from the cup, which means we're not constantly pouring back into the cup to where it's overflowing and we're giving out of excess. We're giving our supply out of our cup. So what's happening is, at some point, that cup runs empty and you find yourself stressed out. You find yourself frustrated. You find yourself depressed. You find yourself needing something, needing someone, needing the same level of love, needing the same level of advice, needing the same level of care that you give to everyone else. And if you haven't set that up, you soon find out that you don't have that. You don't have a real support system that can pour back into you. And that becomes very detrimental. So what I've done over the years is that I've set boundaries. And this means that if you're the go-to person, you got to have some boundaries. You're going to have to say no sometimes. You're going to have to be the person that does not answer the phone sometimes. You're going to have to be the person that ignores that call, or you're going to have to be the person that says, not today. Today is about me sometimes. Because what happens is that first and foremost, we may think that that's selfish, but what happens is that when you run empty and you have nothing left to give, not only is it detrimental to you, but it's also detrimental to the people that depend on you and look up to you and lean on you for that type of help. So I always tell those types of people in my life, you want me to go away. You want me to self-care. You want me to build myself up. You want me to take days where I don't talk to you. You want me to take days where I'm pouring back into me. Because if I run empty, what will you do? The same thing for the people that I look up to. I give them breaks. I don't always want to call on you. I don't always want to lean on you, because I know if you run empty, you're in trouble and I'm in trouble. So think about that, the go-to person. That person that you're always coordinating, you're in control. They call on you to lead. They call on you to handle things. And you rarely ever say no because you're that person. I'm telling you, you got to put some boundaries around that, or you're going to find yourself in a bad place. Because if your life is not a perfect ebb and flow, I always say it's like breathing in and breathing out. For as much as you breathe out, that's you helping and giving and taking care of everybody else. You got to make sure that you breathe back in. Because right now, if you take a deep breath and you breathe out and you keep breathing and breathing and breathing out, sooner or later your lungs will collapse because you're violating the system. Just breathe in and breathe out. If you breathe in the same type of love and the same type of giving and the things that you give out, if you breathe that in consistently, then you can give it out consistently and not run the risk of running on empty. So set up some good boundaries, set up some times to where you're personally doing things to strictly take care of you. Don't feel like you're being selfish, because you're not. In all actuality, taking care of you first is taking care of all of the other people that lean on you. So with that being said, for the leaders, the go-to people, the people that is always helping out there, take this time to take this to heart. What do you do when the strong person gets tired? Do you have a strong person? Do you have a support system? All of the things that you give, are they being given to you? Now, they can't be given to you from the same people that you're giving to. A lot of people mess that up. They'll say, well, you know, these people that I give to, they never pour back into me. They're not designed to. They lean on you. You got to lean on people that are in a position that you're not in a position above you. I have a video somewhere that talks about blues, greens, and reds. Watch that video to explain that a little bit more. But you got to lean upon reds, people that you look up to. People that look up to you can't pour back into you because they need you to do that. You need another set of people, right, to pour back into you. So with that being